everybody, we've got a very sleepy pug in this video. Today's video is going to be something kind of different to what I usually do. I've decided that I'm going to start doing some kind of top 5 kind of videos on my channel. Today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, is going to be my top 5 favourite eyeshadow palettes. If you guys do end up enjoying this video, please let me know, leave me feedback. I like to hear your guys' thoughts on what you guys want to see on my channel. So I thought I would do like a top 5 eyeshadow palettes, and then I could probably do like a top 5 favorite liquid lipsticks, like colours and stuff that I love, top 5 whatever you want to see, top 5 highlighters. I just thought it would be something different to do on my channel, especially because I've been struggling for ideas lately. So if you do like this whole idea, then let me know and I'll keep going with this kind of series on my channel. So yeah, today I'm going to go through my top 5 favourite eyeshadow palettes. I decided to go with full like set eyeshadow palettes. I was tossing up whether or not to like include like Makeup Geek and stuff in this, but I've decided not to because technically you kind of make your own palette with the Z palettes and stuff like that. So if you guys want to see more, because I know everyone's interested in the Makeup Geek eyeshadows and stuff like that, if you guys want to see like a whole video on, say, my Makeup Geek eyeshadow collection, then let me know and I can do swatches and show you them. But I didn't include them in this kind of video because I wanted it to be like palettes that you fully buy together, do you know what I mean, where all the eyeshadows are set and that's what you get kind of thing, whereas Makeup Geek you make your own with your kind of their separate pans and stuff. So I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys, because yeah, I know you guys know I love Makeup Geek and stuff, but I decided to leave them out of this video because they're not technically a palette. So I've got my top 5 here, and it was really hard to pick because I have quite a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but I decided to go with the ones that I've used the most over the past few years, or just ones that I've gotten that I just really love. I wanted to choose ones that I really do use a lot. And I decided to pick ones that are neutral for all you people that love kind of neutral shades, and I decided to pick a few with really nice pops of colours, really bright eyeshadows and stuff, because I love both. I'm a neutrals girl and I also love playing with colour, so I decided to go with kind of both. So there's a huge variety here in colours and stuff, and yeah, I'm going to stop blabbing now and we're going to get on to the my top 5 eyeshadow palettes. I hope you guys enjoy this video. So the first palette I have here, I've gone really old school with this. This is pretty much the first high-end eyeshadow palette that I bought. Also, just disclaiming, all of these are high-end products. They are expensive. I will link as well down below where I bought them from, and so you guys can see the prices of them. Just because I don't actually own really any cheap eyeshadow palettes, especially ones that I really love. So all of these that are my favourite are high-end products, so just disclaiming that, because they are pricey, but that's kind of what I enjoy, that's what I like, is the high-end eyeshadow palettes, and I just literally don't own any low-end ones. But of course if I find a low-end one that I did love, that would be in this video. But yeah, just disclaiming that in case you guys were looking for cheap kind of palettes. I don't really have any cheap ones here that I love, but it's pretty much my own personal favourites anyway, so it's just kind of showing you guys what I love personally. So this is the Urban Decay Naked palette. This is the first palette that I pretty much ever got, and it's absolutely destroyed. As you can see, it just looks terrible. The eyeshadows, a lot of them have hit pan. I just love this palette. I have 3 of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. This one, I have the 3rd one, and I have the Naked Smoky one. I didn't get the 2nd one because that had quite mixed reviews, and out of all of them, this one is definitely my favourite. This one's more warm toned. The 2nd one I heard was really cool toned. The 3rd one is rose kind of toned, and then of course the smoky one's really cool toned because they're all really dark, deep shades. This one is just my personal favourite. Of course, if you were going to buy one of the Naked palettes, I'd look into it and see which one is kind of best for you, because to be honest, you don't really need to own all of them. But this was just definitely my favourite. I've used this the most. As you can see, these are the colours here. The palette's nice, it's all velvet. Suede Urban Decay always does really amazing packaging, although it does get very dirty, very dusty. As you can see, the colours come off mine, and I've had this for years. But I think they've definitely upgraded their packaging on the other Naked palettes versus this one, I feel like. But this was their first one, so you can kind of understand that. But it's just got such an amazing array of shades. It goes light to dark. It's got really nice kind of rosy tones. It's got heaps of matte shades that are perfect for going into your crease. Over here you have some golds. You also have some kind of purpley mauve colours, and then you have some really dark greys and blacks at the end. I just feel like it's such a versatile Naked nude palette for all of you guys that love neutrals. And I mean, this is an old palette now, but I still definitely recommend if you're starting in makeup or you just want a good neutral palette and you don't have this, you should definitely go and buy it, because I just think it's absolutely like amazing. This is one of the best neutral palettes on the market in my personal opinion, and it's still one of those palettes that lives long and prospers, because it's just everyone still uses this palette no matter the fact that it's old. It's just amazing, and I feel like you can just do so many different looks with this palette. I mean, back in the old days when I started YouTube, I did heaps of looks using this palette. Of course, if you look back at them, I was a lot crapper at doing my makeup back then, but I just absolutely loved this palette when I got it. This is the palette that pretty much taught me my ways in makeup. This is the palette which I pretty much got started in doing eyeshadow with. So if you are starting out, this is the perfect palette for you, or if you just want a great neutrals palette, this is definitely the one to go for. Absolutely love this palette. I still use it today. It's just definitely all around amazing. The next one is definitely the most daring out of the ones that I selected. This palette is really intense. So this one's not for the faint-hearted. If you don't like bright, colourful eyeshadows, you won't like this. But if you're someone that likes to do really fun looks, you're really colourful, you want to just have a really nice palette with really bright colours, this is amazing. I was so excited when Urban Decay released this. This is the Urban Decay Electrics palette, and it still makes my heart melt today. It's amazing. Whenever I want to do a really intense look, I go for this. If I'm ever going out clubbing or whatever, I just reach for this palette because it's so much fun. You can just really get creative with this palette. So I love the packaging. Again, Urban Decay stepped up with this packaging. It's just so beautiful. It's got all this kind of smoky, bright, colourful detailing on the back. A really nice sturdy plastic palette too, and it has a magnetic closure, and it's a really strong magnetic closure as well, so you don't have to worry when you're travelling, say, that it would open, because it's a really strong magnet in there. So, and I feel like it's a good size for travel as well. And these are the colours. Obviously not for the faint-hearted, like I said. These are just my personal favourite palettes. You guys might not like these, because obviously some of them aren't going to be to everyone's taste. But this is my palette that I reach for when I just want to be crazy. If I want to do a nice colourful like smoky liner, perfect palette. I want to smoke out my lower lash line with colour, perfect palette. I tend to reach for this more in the spring and summertime. That's when I kind of really get creative with my colour and makeup and stuff like that, because I feel like in summer it's your excuse to get colourful and crazy, even though I am on a daily basis anyway. But I just absolutely love this palette. It's got such beautiful colours, a bunch of matte shades, a bunch of shimmery shades, glittery shades, stuff like that. They do have really nice, this silver is just incredible if you want to do like a silver smoky eye. I've done again a lot of looks on my channel using this palette back in the day, and they're just amazing. I just feel like all the blues they have, it's just amazing. It's just absolutely the most perfect palette ever. Just all of these colors literally just make you want to melt, because they just literally got every single color for shade that anyone would ever want to put on their eye in this palette. It's just incredible, and you can do so many different looks with this, guys. It's like absolutely incredible. So this is my, I think I've said like incredible like a million times. I love this palette. So again, if you're not really into color and stuff, don't get it, because it's not going to be worth your money, because you're not going to really use it that much. But if you do like experimenting with makeup, even if it's just for photography, this is just an incredible palette. I still use it today as well, like I said. I just definitely wear it more in the summertime personally than say the winter. If I just want to get creative with my makeup, this is the palette I reach for. And the Urban Decay eyeshadows are just so pigmented. They're absolutely incredible. I'll swatch some for you guys. I love this color Fringe. It's just, can you look at that? Even the lime green in this palette is incredible. What else is another one I can swatch? Blue. They're just so pigmented, like it's amazing. Also though, I will say some of these there was a huge thing when this kind of was released. Some of these eyeshadows were apparently not listed as eye safe. I can't remember what colors they were. I feel like it was one of these purples or something like that. I still used it on my eyes. I didn't understand that because it's an eyeshadow palette. Look it up if you guys are interested in the facts of that. I can't 100% remember. But there were some issues with some people's eyes getting stained, especially from these purple colours. I think it was these two. So if you do use them on your eyes, they are that pigmented that if you're very fair, they will stain, or if you have sensitive skin, they might irritate you. So just keep that in mind as well. I've never had any issues with this palette. I will say, yes, the purples do stain your eyes a bit. I went on a night out wearing one of the purples, and I did like a smoky eye kind of thing, and it did leave like this pink tinge on my eyes. So just so you know, they're that pigmented that they do stain your eyelids as well. I just want to lay out the pros and cons of the palettes as well. Make sure you do look into them before you get them. This palette, everyone gave great reviews, but it was a bit weird that some of them weren't eye safe and a lot of them did stain people's eyes. So just look up some people's reviews and stuff for the palette, but personally I love it, but just so you know, they can stain your eyelids. My next favourite eyeshadow palette, this is kind of a new one for me. I haven't had this palette for long, probably a month, but I freaking love this palette. It is amazing to me. This is just literally probably my #1 palette right now. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the first one. They do, like the Urban Decay kind of naked palettes, they have a range of them, but this one, technically the first, always kind of has the best reviews, and I just wanted to kind of try Too Faced and their eyeshadows, and I just freaking love this palette. This is literally the perfect neutral palette. If you're looking for a neutral palette that pretty much caters for every single thing, it's amazing. It has so many different matte shades, so many different brown colors. That's where I feel like this palette like really is amazing, is because all of the brown shades in here, there's so many. There's four completely matte brown shades, but they're all so different. There's this caramel color, there's then like a warm chocolate color, and then there's one that's very similar to that, but it's like a cooler tone, and then there's a really dark brown. I just feel like this is the palette, if I'm even doing a colourful look, and I always personally put like neutrals in my crease, you can just build up and do so many different things with this palette. These big sections here, there's a matte kind of highlight shade, and then there's a shimmery one, and there's even a couple of pops of colours in here. There's a pink and a purple. There's some really nice bronzy shades, gold shimmery kind of champagne shades, which are perfect for the lid. This palette is just, honestly, it's up there with the Urban Decay Naked palette. I personally think this is even better because to me it has more variety of shades. They're also bigger kind of eyeshadow pans, and you just get more of an option. Although the first Naked palette is amazing as well, I just feel like there's just a bit more option with this palette. Again, super pigmented shadows. These blend out like a dream. Like, they blend out insanely good. I feel like the quality of the Too Faced eyeshadows is probably one of the best that I've ever used in my life. They just blend out so easily. Again, really pigmented, and I feel like usually when you get really pigmented eyeshadows, you get a lot of fallout. With these, you don't get the fallout, but you get that pigmentation, which is also amazing. They just blend out so easy. It's like a 5-second job, whereas with some eyeshadows, you really need to work with blending them. And I just think it's absolutely incredible. Plus, they smell like chocolate, which is amazing. Honestly, you guys need to smell the Too Faced chocolates collection. Everything smells amazing. Again, really nice palette as well. It's like tin, it has a magnetic closure, a nice mirror in it, and I just feel like this is amazing for the money. Definitely if you're into neutrals, this is an amazing palette. Even if you're starting out with makeup, this is a really good one to get if you were looking for a high-end eyeshadow palette that you will literally use the crap out of. Like, this is going to be like a staple eyeshadow palette of mine forever. Some palettes, like I've gotten palettes before, I'm like, oh, it's amazing, I'm going to get it when it's first released, and then I find I don't really go back to using it. But this one is just amazing. I pretty much use this on a daily basis. I love it that much. So definitely, again, a great neutrals palette. So definitely check out the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palettes. So my next eyeshadow palette is another Urban Decay one. I know I'm showing you guys a lot of Urban Decay palettes, but Urban Decay, pretty much as a brand, I feel like they release the most variety in eyeshadow palettes, really high quality eyeshadow. So just personally, the Urban Decay palettes are really good. So another Urban Decay one, I promise this is my last Urban Decay palette. This is the Urban Decay Vice palette. I believe this is the Vice 4 palette. They do have a bunch of other ones as well, but the Vice palettes, I think they release them for a certain amount of time and then they literally go. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like they're quite hard to find once they're released and then they disappear. So if they release a Vice palette, you really need to kind of get your hands on it quick. Whereas like the Urban Decay Naked palettes, they're always there everywhere, no matter how old they get. But this is the number 4 palette. I did want the other ones as well, but I kind of just left it too late and then never got to them. But this one has like the packaging on this, come on, Urban Decay. What the hell, it's amazing. It even came in this kind of makeup bag as well. I feel like Urban Decay really makes the packaging worth your money as well as the eyeshadows. So I can't remember how much this was. Like I said, I'll link them all down below. But this is a huge palette. It comes with eyeshadow brushes as well. The Urban Decay palettes do, which is really good. They also, like I said, came in a big makeup bag, which I use with my other makeup to hold. I think the Urban Decay Vice palette bag has all my highlighters in and stuff, but they're just, packaging is just incredible. I want to mention this palette too because I use it a lot, number one, but the mirror in this is amazing. This probably isn't the best eyeshadow palette if you're traveling because I feel like the magnetic seal in this isn't super strong and the palette is so big, but that's another reason I want to mention it is you get so many different eyeshadows in this palette. The mirror is huge, so it's perfect for doing your makeup. You can literally fit your whole face in here, sit this in front of you and do your eyeshadow. I just wanted to mention it too because it has a couple of neutral shades, which are perfect for just in the crease, that kind of thing. It has, and the rest of it is pretty much either really smoky shades or really intense, bright, colourful shades. So again, this is like kind of that perfect palette where it's not like the Electrics palette where it's just bold colours or just neutrals. This has a mixture. It has neutrals and really bright pops of colour, and it also has really, really nice shades for doing a smoky kind of eye. A lot of these eyeshadows are really shimmery and glittery depending on what you kind of like. A lot of these eyeshadows in this palette are kind of set to be lid shades. Just really kind of fun colours, but you do also get some really nice matte shades as well, which you can pretty much use this palette to do a whole look, but most of the colours in here are bright, vibrant colours. So again, if you're not really into colourful kind of eyeshadows, probably don't go for this because there's definitely way more colourful eyeshadows in this palette than there are neutral. But if you are looking to like kind of experiment and you want an eyeshadow palette that pretty much does it all for you, then this is a really great palette. And I just feel like there's so many different colours in here that, you know, a lot of these colours, because I've only just, I think I got this for Christmas, around Christmas time, and I haven't even played with all of them yet, but the ones I have played with are amazing. Again, I'll get really good use out of this in the summertime, but I just feel like for the price and the amount of eyeshadows you get, plus the packaging, it's an amazing palette. And yeah, if you love kind of colourful looks, definitely one for you. The Vice palettes are amazing. So I'm pretty sure this is the Vice 4 palette. Like I said, I will link it down below for you guys to check out. And we're on the last palette now. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I do have another Anastasia palette and I was like, which one is my favourite, because I love the both of them. I can't remember, the other one's the World Travelers palette, I'm pretty sure. But I decided to mention this one because this one is bigger than the other one. It has 2 extra eyeshadows in it. And again, I feel like this is a really good palette which caters for people who like to play with colour and also like neutrals. So this is the packaging. Again, really nice packaging. It's got this really nice textured detailing on it. Nice magnetic closure. Every time I have travelled, I've taken one of the Anastasia palettes because I feel like they're a nice slim size. Although if you are travelling on a long journey where it's like a bumpy ride, an aeroplane or something like that, the magnetic closures on this aren't that strong. So you might get there and it be open and a mess everywhere. So just bear that in mind. If you're traveling just kind of by car or just, you know, not a huge journey, this is a great palette to take, but just so you know, it's not a really strong magnetic closure, so it could open up and kind of destroy everything. Again, these palettes come with brushes. My brushes that come with the palettes are in my brush collections, which is really nice that they come with a brush. And yeah, the colours. Okay, so this has a really, really nice kind of range of neutral colours. It has some really nice bronzes and golds if you're into that kind of warm bronze kind of eyes, really nice neutrals, and it has some really nice pops of colour in this palette. I feel like, again, you can do so many looks with this palette. I think I've done quite a few on my channel if you guys want to check them out. Really amazing. This palette has more shimmery kind of metallic shades versus the World Travelers palette that I have by Anastasia, but this is kind of just personally my cup of tea. It has some really nice matte shades like buttery and hot chocolate. Again, perfect for doing any kind of look. You can put them in your crease. I feel like they work with any look, so you don't really need that many matte shades in this palette. But again, it has some really nice neutral colours. Pink Champagne is one of my ultimate favourite eyeshadows. They got Treasure, which is a beautiful shimmery colour, and Isla, I love this colour. It's a really nice mint kind of green turquoise colour. It just has such amazing bright colours. It has nice neutrals, really nice golds and bronzes. I feel like this is just, again, another palette with such a different variety of colours. None of them are the same, none of them are alike, so you can do so many different looks with this and just make the most of the palette. As you can see, I've used it quite a lot and I still use it today. Again, Anastasia Beverly Hills, really nice quality eyeshadows. They blend out amazingly, really pigmented. One thing I'll say is they compared a lot to the Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette, eyeshadows. You can buy the Anastasia colours individually as well, which I personally wouldn't do because they're pretty much exactly the same pens and quality as Makeup Geek. The quality is virtually exactly the same, and the price point is a lot different. The Anastasia individual shadows are so much more expensive than Makeup Geek. The only time I'd really buy these, that I feel like they're worth their money, is when they're in one of these palettes, because yeah, they are amazing quality eyeshadows, but they're comparable to Makeup Geek. So I feel like it's really great that Anastasia does these little palettes. I feel like that's something that Makeup Geek should do more. I know they've done the Manny MUA palette and stuff recently, but they should do more like that, all included in a palette kind of thing like that as well. But yeah, definitely would buy them in a palette but not individual. They're really great quality eyeshadows, comparable to Makeup Geek, so if you want a cheaper option, that is there as well. But Makeup Geek don't have like a fully formed eyeshadow palette, is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. I tend to say shit really complicated and I don't know why, but again, just another palette that I really adore. And yeah, Anastasia Beverly Hills again comes up with heaps of different eyeshadow palettes. This one, I think, I'm not sure, but it might be a limited edition, so if you want it, get your hands on it quick, because I'm not sure how long they will last. But if it is still available, I will link it down below for you guys to check out. So that is it, you guys, for my top 5 favourite eyeshadow palettes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video, just giving you a kind of rundown review on why they're my favourites. And yeah, just really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do like this kind of top 5 series, then please let me know and I will do more on my channel for you of different kind of things. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and let me know in the comments down below what your favourite eyeshadow palette is, and also let me know if you kind of enjoyed this kind of video. Like I said, I will do more. If you have any video ideas for me, then let me know as well in the comments down below. I will link the palettes and where I got them down below if they're still available. If they're not, I'm very sorry, I should have done my research before this video, but I think they are all still available, so I will link them down below from where I personally got them as well, so you guys can see the prices and where I personally bought them from as well. There'll be links down below as well to my social networking sites and my Etsy store. Also, I'm on Snapchat now, so I'll have my Snapchat username down below as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.